Good evening, everybody. Corey here. Happy 4th of July. It is July 4th right now. It is 5:23. And let's go over a little bit more of our book, shall we? Yesterday I spent all day uploading the videos that I had. I uploaded about 7 chapters from chapter 5, preparation, all the way to chapter 12, hurry and habits. And I also uploaded part 16 from The Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. If you guys aren't with me for The Master Key System, yesterday we just started our 16th part. We read the part twice a day, once in the morning and once before retiring at night, because they're like lessons. Okay, we stick to one part for throughout the entire week. We take in the practice for the week, and we do that. Last week we learned about insight. Now, insight is a faculty of the mind that allows us to actually see something coming before it actually happens, okay, and it allows us to prepare for that specific situation. He compared insight to kind of a human magnifying glass. Allows us to see something from a distance. Okay, this needs to be done, let's say a week from now. Okay, we have all these other things that need to be done in the meantime until this gets done, and all this needs to be done in between before this needs to get done. So then by the time we get to this point, then we're good to go. Things like that. Being able to see a situation before you even get there, and what you could do in the meantime to help that situation out or to completely prevent it altogether. That's basically what insight is. That's what we learned last week, and then this week we are going over farsightedness, which is very similar to insight. And yeah, like I said, we had just started this chapter, so we ourselves still have a little bit more to learn about it. In the beginning, we are learning about the law of sevens, known as the septimal law. With that being said, let's go ahead and continue on this book, and we're at chapter 13 on thought. Okay, so let's see what Wallace has for us for thought. Excuse me, sorry. Chapter 13, Thought. Greatness is attained only by the thinking of great thoughts. No man can become great in outward personality until he is great internally, and no man can be great internally until he thinks. No amount of education, reading, or study can make you great without thought, but thought can make you great with very little study. There are altogether too many people who are trying to make something of themselves by reading books without thinking. All such will fail. You are not mentally developed by what you read, but by what you think about what you read. Thinking is the hardest and most exhausting of all labor, and hence many people shrink from it. God has so formed us that we are continuously impelled to thought. We must either think or engage in some activity to escape thought. The headlong, continuous chase for pleasure in which most people spend all their leisure time is only an effort to escape thought. If they are alone, or if they have nothing amusing to take their attention, as a novel to read or a show to see, they must think, and to escape from thinking they resort to novels, shows, and all the endless devices of the purveyors of amusement. Most people spend the greater part of their leisure time running away from thought. Hence they are what they are. We never move forward until we think. Now remember, thinking is the only activity which we as spirits possess. Okay, unless we are thinking about things, it's almost like we're not taking the initiative to do anything. Remember, the original substance. Remember how he's explaining this to all of us, that we are all a portion of the cosmic original substance. And when we think that just a thought in this substance produces the form of something, okay, like the oak tree. Okay, I know we read this in The Science of Getting Rich. If you guys haven't been with us for that, then I encourage you to go check it out. Okay, the thought of an oak tree within this substance will not produce the instant formation of that tree, but it will set that tree to grow along established certain lines. Remember, that's how we have discovered the law of growth. Okay, things grow along specific lines. Okay, likewise with your thoughts. When you hold thoughts to steadily to the purpose with the power of your will, okay, you need to hold it there until the law of growth starts to take place, okay, and that thought will start to grow within you. It'll start to be impressed more and more upon your own mind, okay. Remember that mind being a garden analogy, okay. The more you plant the seed, the more it'll start to harvest, and when it becomes a harvest and has its own fruit, okay, that's when you become a part of the fruit that you had created within yourself. Your character. Read less and think more. Read about great things and think about great questions and issues. We have at the present time few really great figures in the political life of our country. Our politicians are a petty lot. There is no Lincoln, no Webster, no Clay, Calhoun, or Jackson. Why? Because our present statesman deals only with sordid and petty issues, questions of dollars and cents, of expediency and party success, of material prosperity without regard to ethical rights. Thinking along these lines does not call forth great souls. The statesmen of Lincoln's time and previous times dealt with questions of eternal truth, of human rights and justice. Men thought upon great themes. They thought great thoughts, and they became great men. Thinking, not just mere knowledge or information, makes personality. Thinking is growth. You cannot think without growing. Remember, and in order to make a thought truly ours, we must take it and think it over and over and over again until it takes root inside our own mind, okay, our own subconscious mind. Remember, personal consciousness is like the tuning fork. Okay, and whatever you are in tune with is what you are going to be seeing, whatever you're going to be, expressing, whatever you're going to be taking in, okay, whatever you're going to be sharing, all that which you're going to be in tune with. And how do we become in tune with things? How do we form the circuit within our own brain? By thinking. Okay, remember, when you think, you are setting brain cells into activity, and you form the circuit within your own mind. Every thought engenders another thought. Write one idea and others will follow until you have written a page. You cannot fathom your own mind. It has neither bottom nor boundaries. Your first thoughts may be crude, but as you go on thinking, you will use more and more of yourself. You will quicken new brain cells into activity, and you will develop new faculties. Heredity, environment, circumstances, and all things must give way before you if you practice sustained and continuous thought. But, on the other hand, if you neglect to think for yourself and only use other people's thoughts, you will never know what you are capable of, and you will end by being incapable of anything. Now that's food for thought right there. If you neglect to think for yourself and only use other people's thoughts, you will never know what you are capable of, and you will end by being incapable of anything. Now that is something that we will do our best to remember, because remember, we are all here and we are all our own individuals, regardless of, thinking. It's very good that we are getting information from this. It's very, very good that we are able to take in what these people have learned, and they're able to pass on to us, so then we could take what we are learning from them and then move forth from there. Because that is what we are here to do. We are here to take what has already been found so we can learn, and then for us to continue to grow from there. That is how evolution works, and that is what we are all here to do, to continuously grow. And we will never know what we will be capable of doing until we go out and do it ourselves, and not just from what other people are teaching. You take all this and then you put it in your own way. Remember, we all have our own way of looking at the one specific thing. That's how the whole power of perception thing. Two people could go through the exact same experience, but they're going to take it in their own way. Likewise with this, there's going to be so much that we could get from this, because the rest of it will be up to us. Like he said, it's thinking about what we are reading is what's really going to make us grow, and not just reading. There can be no real greatness without original thought. All that a man does outwardly is the expression and completion of his inward thinking. No action is possible without thought, and no great action is possible until great thought has preceded it. Action is the second form of thought, and personality is the materialization of thought. Environment is the result of thought. Things group themselves or arrange themselves around you according to your thoughts. There is, as Emerson says, some central idea or conception of yourself by which all the facts of your life are arranged and classified. Change the central idea, and you change the arrangement or classification of all the facts and circumstances of your life. You are what you are because you think as you do. You are where you are because you think as you do. You see then the immense importance of thinking about the great essentials set forth in the preceding chapters. You must not accept them in any superficial way. You must think about them until they are a part of your central idea. Now that makes a lot of sense, because we do take on the form. Okay, personality is the materialization of thought because we take on that form, we embody it. Action is he says, the second form of thought. I believe action is the third and final form of thought, because words are the second form of thought, because words are what actually give thought symbol. Who knows, action could be considered the second form, and words could just be, the median in between. It's like something just added onto there, something that we humans just evolved into. It's not like you really hear any other creature on this planet speaking like we are. There's a lot to think about. And then going back to our central idea, the thinking substance. We are a thinking center. We are the spirit, the fire inside of the earth. Remember, life is but the word of the Spirit. That was a quote from the Bible, and you are spirit. You have the word. You are the word. You are the one that creates. You are a creator. You are the source. You are the fountain. You are the channel. You are the cause. And your environment, the people around you, all that you meet are the effects. Because we are who we are, because we think as we do. Remember, man becomes what he thinks about. And we are where we are because we think as we do. Because whatever we think is going to determine what actions we take. Remember, actions create results. Actions create results. Actions always speak louder than words. Me taking action is making this video happen. And me uploading on YouTube is what is going to allow you to see this video. That is taking action. Because if I didn't take action, this would never get out there. Go back to the matter of the point of view and consider, in all its bearings, the tremendous thought that you live in a perfect world among perfect people, and that nothing can be possibly wrong with you but your own personal attitude. Think about all this until you fully realize all that it means to you. Consider that this is God's world, and that is the best of all possible worlds, and that He has brought it thus far towards completion by the process of organic, social, and industrial evolution, and that it is going on to greater completeness and harmony. And how is it that this substance, God, how is it that He had brought us into completion that this far? And that is by the principle of power within us. Think about it. That thing that is consistently urging us to move forward. The thing that's always consistently urging us to keep growing. And that is why growth is a law. Because we are all... It is through us that this source continues to learn about itself. It's like we said in another video, like there is only one. In its original state, he simply is. And then everything you see, every form you see of manifestation you see is simply this one source in dynamic state, Him in action. It's almost like He became us to learn about Himself through us. It's like He's playing a game with Himself, There is only one. Consider that there is one great, perfect, intelligent principle of life and power causing all the changing phenomena of the cosmos. Think about all this until you see that it is true, and until you comprehend how you should live and act as a citizen of such a perfect whole. Next, think of the wonderful truth that this great intelligence is in you. It is your own intelligence. It is an inner light compelling you towards the right thing and the best thing, the greatest act and the highest happiness. It is an inner light. It is your real nature, your Christ self, your spiritual nature, your eternal living being. Where were we? Think about all this until you can see that it is true, and until you comprehend how you should live and act as a citizen of the perfect whole. Next, think of the wonderful truth that this great intelligence is in you. It is your own intelligence. It is an inner light compelling you, impelling you towards the right thing and the best thing, the greatest act and the highest happiness. It is a principle of power in you, giving you all the ability and genius there is. It will infallibly guide you to the best if you will submit to it and walk in the light. Consider what is meant by your consecration of yourself when I say, quote, "I will obey my soul," end quote. This is a sentence of tremendous meaning. It must revolutionize the attitude and behavior of the average person. Oh, wow. This is a sentence of tremendous meaning. It is. I will obey the principle of power within me, because I and my Father are one. It is God telling me. Like he said that in the last chapter, didn't he? It is God consistently urging us to move forward, because our spirit is the same spirit as this spirit. There is only one, and God wants to continuously move forward. But we have been given the choice. He is forever impelling us to move forward, because that is what He is naturally doing. That is just Him in His natural state of being. But as creatures, as a man, we have been given the choice to say, hey, I could either choose to listen to that thing within me that keeps telling me to do the things where, keeps asking me what I dream about, that keeps asking me what I want to do, that keeps asking me, is this making you happy? Because there are other things that are here for us to do, so we could continue to grow. It's like this power in you is always urging you, like, come on, come on, come on. Hey, let's find something new to do for us. Hey, like, this isn't really helping us like it was before. Like, let's look for something else. I will help you get there. All you have to do is do your part and make the decision to follow me, because I know where I am going, and I can take you where you want to go. Just follow me. And follow what? Follow what? Follow that thing, that urge you have, the desire you have, the thing forever impelling you, the things that inspire you. Those are the things that you need to follow. Remember, because inspiration is something you receive in spirit. That's what inspiration is. It's something that happens within you. And when you have that compelling force that is manifesting itself within you, that's because there is something telling you, like, hey, there is something here for you. Let's not miss this opportunity. Then think of your identification with this great Supreme, that all its knowledge is yours, and all its wisdom is yours for the asking. You are a God if you think like a God. If you think like a God, you cannot fail to act like a God. Divine thoughts will surely externalize themselves in a divine life. Thoughts of power will end in a life of power. Great thoughts will manifest in a great personality. Think well of all this, and then you are ready to act. Now that is the end of chapter 13 of the Science of Being Great. There is also one thing I want to add onto this. We a while ago we also read a book called The Instant Millionaire. Excuse me, sorry. And in this book, the whole get-go, the book in the nutshell is basically obtaining the millionaire mindset. you know, the consciousness of wealth and setting goals and the importance of setting goals, because there's a lot of psychology behind setting goals, you know, and and goals is the only way to take your dream into a tangible fact. Okay, a dream is just a dream until you actually take it and work towards it, you know, because when you just think about it and not do anything, it's just daydreaming. Okay, that's imagination not being used. You know, that's mental dissipation, as Charles says it. Okay, but if you take that dream and you actually set goals, you know, like, what can I do today to get me a little bit closer to that huge vision that I see myself, you know, 5, 6 years from now? You know, what do I need to do today that's going to move me in that direction? You know, reading books and growing is one thing that's going to help us get to that direction. Okay, he says in The Instant Millionaire, people think they're reinventing the wheel, but they're not. Okay, we have already discovered the principles that we need to follow in order to make success happen. Okay, laws. All laws have specific principles. Okay, I'm going to go over a little bit of what Charles F. Hamel. There is a law of mathematics, because we know this, because if we apply mathematics, we're going to find a definite result. You know, people are able to send people to the moon because they have a definite mathematical system in play. Same with prosperity. You know, the law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of prosperity. They're all natural laws. And if we apply these laws like they're supposed to be, then there is no way that we're not going to be able to fulfill our own abundance. Okay, there is no way we're not going to be able to make our own prosperity. There is no way that we're not going to be able to attract the things that we want to attract in our lives. Okay, if we have a definite understanding of these natural laws and a direct system to follow, which we have figured out, you know, then there is no wheel to reinvent. You know, there's only a wheel that has already been found, and that we just need to learn about the wheel and put ourselves in harmony with it, and then watch our life take off. Remember, we're here to gather everything that we could get from as many sources as we can, and then from there, build something up from it. Because remember, you become what you think about, and you are the source, you are the channel. Okay, you are the channel from where the source flows from. Okay, so whatever you are doing, you are giving basically passage. You are giving a passage, like an opening for, you know, like the creation to happen there. You know, you must be before you can have. The person you are today is not going to be able to make your dreams come true. Okay? Other people have what you want. Other people have what you want. And you have to take it. You have to go out there and get it. Okay? It's not just going to be given to you. Okay? It will be given to you once you make the decision that, hey, this is what I want to do. And you actually take the action to move in that direction. Remember, actions speak louder than words. That being said, you guys, there's even the next chapter, chapter 14, Action. Action at Home is what it's entitled. Let's go over that.